85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code XTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping. Yes, people, welcome back to another stream, man. Big up to the guys at Manscaped. All the details are in the description.
Yes.
Yeah, get your Kiwis shaved, lads. Make sure you drop a like on the stream and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We need 40 people to hit the thumbs up button, man. Get us to 100 likes, so make sure you hit that thumbs up button. But today, we've got a huge transfer update for you. Yesterday and sort of this morning, it's been crazy with the transfer rumours. Yeah, loads of players being linked in and out of the football club. So we're going to go through all of the latest news, all the latest speculation to see exactly what has been said. But yeah, guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream innit, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. So the first bit was about Mac Allister. Now, we all know pretty much now that Liverpool are clearly favourites to sign Mac Allister. And I think he will end up going to Liverpool, to be honest with you. And I know a couple of you in the chat have already said Fabrizio reckons City are in for him. But this guy from the Mirror, David McDonnell, says that Manchester City are ready to take on Liverpool in the battle to sign Brighton's Alexis Mac Allister. As I say, me personally, I don't think we will sign. I think we'll go to Liverpool, but maybe City are just starting to just have some sort of late interest in him. Of course, we missed out on Jude Bellingham. I wonder if that's something that we're going to be doing.
I think we're just monitoring the situation. I don't think we're going to go toe to toe for Liverpool with him. I think City will have an eye on it. Maybe we'll put a little bit into match Liverpool and maybe just say, we're here, by the way, if you want to come to us. But the fact that he's pretty much nearly agreed personal terms and everything with Liverpool, I think he's going there. I don't see a situation where we sign Mac Allister. We've said this for quite a while, me and you, that we just think he's going to end up there anyway. There was no feeling towards him coming to City at all. So to get his kind of late interest, it's a bit weird. I just see him going there completely. I don't see us being able to convince him to switch, unless he's desperate to play Champions League football.
Yeah, or under Pep, maybe.
Yeah, or under Pep.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could see us convincing him. But as we know, City like it when players are very open about wanting to join us. But we'll have to see what happens with that. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of cash. What was it rumored to be like £80 million? They want for
80 million, apparently. Yeah.
So we'll have to see where it goes. But I think it's Liverpool bound, destined to be.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the news on Alexis Mac Allister. David McDonald from the Mirror in the UK, newspaper in the UK, suggesting that City are now ready to take on Liverpool in the battle to sign Alexis Mac Allister. Fabrizio, apparently, according to you guys, I've not seen it, saying that City are not in for Mac Allister. I don't think City will sign Mac Allister. I do think he's off to Liverpool. But another player at Brighton that Manchester City are looking at, again, according to David McDonald at the Mirror, is Brighton's Julio Enciso. Now, this is a guy that's sort of been popping, especially in the last couple of months. A lot of people are liking Julio Enciso. Obviously, like you say, Pep Gvardiol is a huge admirer of Brighton's Julio Enciso. Obviously, a top player. We've seen him a couple of times, especially this last couple of months. He's looked like a real sort of top player. It will be interesting to see what he does. Does he stay at Brighton? Does a team try and get him now? Because, of course, he's only young. He's only 19 years old. He's got a big contract until 2026. So it's going to take some big cash to get out of him. He joined last year for a fee of around £10 million. But this player is clear, and he's very, very versatile. You know what I mean? He's playing multiple positions for Brighton, left wing, right wing, and as a centre forward a couple of times as well. It will be interesting to see if City pull the trigger on him or anyone else. Again, I don't think so. I've not really seen anything else about Julio Enciso from any other clubs. I think he'll probably end up staying there for another year. Because the thing is as well, Brighton are probably going to lose Mac Allister. They're probably going to lose Caicedo. Do they really want to be losing Enciso as well? And Enciso is only 19, he's only had 1 year. He's not going to be 60, 70, 80 million. It's probably going to have 40, 50. They probably think to themselves, if we just hold on to him for another year, then next year, at 20, if he has another good season, he probably will be on course for like 70, 80 million quid. So I don't see that one happening. But maybe next year, maybe the year after, City could look at Enciso. He's played 680 minutes in the Premier League this year for Brighton. 3 goals and 2 assists. So he's getting a goal or an assist just over every game, which isn't the worst situation in the world. But yeah, he's played every single game of the last sort of, 13 matches for Brighton. Some of them he's come off the bench, but he's getting more and more minutes as the season goes on. So a really high promising player. But again, a bit like Mac Allister, I don't see this one happening, and I think he will end up staying at Brighton this one.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Unless City just trying to get in there early. We know that Brighton is such a talent pool at the moment. Like, players go to Brighton, they get sold for more money than the market really should be. But that's just the way it is at Brighton. They go there, they smash it. If you're a young player and Brighton come in for you, you definitely back yourself because you're going to get the minutes. And then basically it's a platform to get yourself to any of the big clubs. I think their business model's great. And Enciso, for me, like I say, City might want to get in there a little bit early. Maybe that's their thinking that, yeah, he's not played the most amount of football, but they might be thinking he's got the talent to push on. But again, it's just one of the ones where I just think if all these players are leaving, they're gonna try and keep some of them. And Enciso will be one that they try and keep. Obviously, we know that links of Matoma. Apparently, they want to keep him as well. I just think, I just think the Enciso one doesn't seem right. I feel like it feels a bit off.
They can't be selling all the players. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
not every single one of their players can get off.
I know, yeah, and he's only 19. I don't think he'll be in any rush to leave, and he's just started playing regular minutes for Brighton as well. So I would imagine he'll probably stay there for 1, maybe 2 more seasons, and then Brighton will do what Brighton do, sell him for big cash, and then go and find the next gem from somewhere. So yeah, that's another one. Enciso, good player, been playing a lot recently, but again, don't think that's going to happen. Just quickly, Joel Webb with a super chat says, unlikely, but Vinny to leave Spain because of the racism. Well, you know, there are rumours coming out about, obviously, Vinicius Junior potentially now threatening to leave La Liga and Real Madrid because of the racism. He's been, apparently, Sebas said, there have been 9 reports of racism this season, 8 of which have all been against Vinicius Junior. So he gets targeted clearly. The media there have clearly just taken the side of the racists. And yeah, I mean, you could fully understand it if he did want to leave. I mean, why would anyone want to be racially abused? Like,
yeah,
obviously.
Fabrizio did say yesterday that it's not a case of Vinny leaving Real Madrid at this stage. He's not looking to leave at all at this moment in time.
It will be interesting though, because of course he's got to sign a new contract in the next couple of months.
Yeah, he's only got a year left,
so he has to decide basically now what he wants to do. Does he want to stay? Because Real Madrid are not going to allow him to leave on a free transfer, right? So he's got to decide basically before the end of August, when the transfer window closes, whether or not he wants to stay in Spain in that league. So otherwise, I'm assuming Real Madrid will have to sell him because they're not going to be allowed to leave. He's not going to let because he's worth probably about 120 million, 130 million. They can't just let him walk out the door on a free transfer. So look, he's a class player. Obviously, Grealish is slamming for us at the moment. Would City be interested? Don't know. PSG, Chelsea, United, Liverpool. I think a lot of teams will try and break their bank for him. But yeah, I guess the main thing there is just getting the racism issue sorted out rather than speculation about where he's going. But big up for the super chat, Joe. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, so he's also come out, Mr. Disco Mirror. I like the app, by the way. David McDonald. And he said, Pep Guardiola and Tiki have drawn up a list of summer targets with Manchester City keen to move early once the transfer window opens. The list includes Alexis Mac Allister, Julio Enciso, Joshua Kimmich, and Josko Gvardiol. Now, interestingly, Kovacic and Maddison are not on his list, which I find quite interesting. Kimmich, another, that's coming up again. Obviously, we did a video yesterday. Me and Hugh did a video about Joshua Kimmich. That's interesting now because that's a couple of people now saying that Kimmich is on the list. We've heard the speculation that maybe Kimmich doesn't really see long-term future at Bayern Munich. We've also seen a few rumours that Tuchel is not a massive fan of Goretzka and Kimmich playing together, doesn't think that they do enough. And, you know, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to realise that Pep Guardiola probably really, really likes Joshua Kimmich because of the versatility of his positional. So that's just interesting because I said yesterday on the video, if you watch the video that we did with WQ, I said, obviously very early days, the Kimmich, but it might just be one that you want to keep your eye out on because if he does decide that he wants to leave Bayern Munich, I think City will be all over the deal, especially because we've got Cancelo and we could potentially use Cancelo as a sort of make, weight and bargaining tool to drive the price down. And then obviously he comes out and says he's on the list. It's like it's early days, but maybe there is actually something in this.
I'd like Kimmich personally, but I feel like it's unrealistic. But I like it. But then I say it's unrealistic, but that's not because I only ever see him at Bayern. He's only got 2 years left in his contract as well. So,
and there are rumours that he doesn't want to stay, and Tuchel's not a massive fan of him and Goretzka.
Yeah, so
and he's 28.
Kind of like,
and as I said in the video, he's won everything at Bayern Munich. He's won everything. He's won all the cups, Champions Leagues, everything. He might just be thinking now he's 28 years old. If he signs a new contract at Bayern, that's him done. Because he'll be there then until he's 33. And no top team really is going to take him at 33. If he wants to leave Bayern Munich, this year or next year when he's got 1 year, are probably the only opportunities. So, and if City are looking at him, maybe if City have decided that Phillips ain't the one and want to move him on, this might be a golden opportunity for him to come in. So
Kimmich, it'd be an incredible signing. An incredible signing. Like I say, you said before, his versatility, something that Pep loves about players, is something that he can offer. And yeah, he might want a new challenge. He might want to do something different. So it stinks of a Pep signing anyway.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens on that one. But yeah, as I say, still early days, and I think Kimmich is the type of guy that he's not going to upset people at Bayern Munich. But apparently, he's not happy with the Bayern Munich board. So apparently, he's not happy with Nagelsmann being sacked. He's not happy with the presidency. He was saying he's seen that online, that he's not happy with that because, you know, these European clubs, they do all this nonsense with like presidents and all this kind of shit. And he's not happy with the way that's going. He's not happy with the fact that Nagelsmann's was sacked. And yeah, apparently Tuchel wants to break up Goretzka and Kimmich because he's not happy with it. And the fact he's only got 2 years left on his contract. He's 28 years old. Maybe there is actually something in that. So again, early days on that one. You've still not had any sort of indication of a fee, whether Cancelo would be included in the deal. I think for that to happen, Calvin Phillips would probably need to be moved on. That we've not really had any developments on that as well. So all very early stages, that one, guys. But again, I just think it might be worth keeping your eye out for that one because maybe there's something in it. And of course, it does make sense. It does make sense. If he can clearly understand that he might just feel now that this is the time to move on. If he has any dreams of playing in the Premier League or for Real Madrid or for Barca,
yeah, now's the time to do it.
This year, maybe next year, that's the time to do it. Otherwise, he's going to have to sign a new contract. Okay, so that's it from David McDonald, but we do have some more news here from Martin Blackburn, of course. We know he's a very, very good source at Manchester City, so we'll go through that in just a second. Big up to everyone that smashed a like on the stream. If you've not already done so, please hit that thumbs up button, guys. We are closing in on 150 likes, nearly 500 people in the stream, so let's get those likes past 150, guys. And of course, big up to the guys at Manscaped for sponsoring today's stream. You guys can get 20% off your entire order and free international shipping by going to manscaped.com and use code XTRA20. That's XTRA20 at checkout. Okay, let's see what Martin Blackburn is saying. So some differences to what David McDonald was saying, but some similarities as well. Manchester City are looking to strengthen in midfield this summer, with Mateo Kovacic being one of the names under consideration, along with Celta Vigo's Gabriel Veiga. Brighton's Alexis Mac Allister is also admired by Pep Guardiola, although he's expected to join Liverpool. Now, that's very interesting because he's used the same words there about Mac Allister. Obviously, City are interested, but he expects to join Liverpool. The Gabriel Veiga one was a really interesting one because the news that came out on that at the time was quite strong and quite firm that City were basically going to activate his €35 million release clause. And then he signed with a different agent to one that was expected because he was going to sign with Pep Guardiola's brother, but he ended up didn't. And then everyone just went, oh, he's off to Real Madrid. And that was literally it. You know what I mean? Just because he signed with a different agent, everyone just assumed it was going to Real Madrid. Now, he still might go to Real Madrid, but now they've got Jude Bellingham. Maybe they won't sign him, and maybe City are like, no, we actually want this guy. £35 million release clause. We know City love release clauses. He's excelled this year. If you look at his numbers, if you look at his performances, I've seen a few highlights of him. He's winning Player of the Month in La Liga, which, considering some of the players in that league, is very, very impressive, especially at his age, playing for Celta Vigo. I mean, it's kind of weird because, like I say, there was literally nothing to suggest this deal had fallen through or that we'd pulled out. It was just the fact that he'd signed for a different agent, and then all of a sudden it was like, nah, it's dead.
To be fair, there's nothing to say it's died, innit? It's just gone quiet.
Yeah, that's what I mean, quiet, yeah.
It's just like he forgot about it. Just carried on with normal life, and then it's like, oh wait, yeah, this Gary Vay guy. But maybe it's just a case of City have like just put the feels out for a lot of players. Like that's why we have interest in Mac Allister. That's why we've had interest in all these players because we've gone right. Okay, scattergun approach. Have a look at all these players, and we can like decide later on who we actually want and who we're watching. But it did seem nailed on that it was going to be a thing. I mean, when I was doing streams about Gary Veiga, it's £35 million release clause and stuff like that, and then it seemed to be that it's gonna be one of the ones that'll get over the line. But I guess nothing we can do in it. He changed his agent. We'll have to see if the Real Madrid links are concrete. But like I say, I've not seen him play too much. So it's an unknown for me. It's an unknown. Which I kind of like anyway.
Yeah, I've watched quite a lot of extended highlights of him, and he looks very, very talented. And he's got the numbers to back it up. He's got the awards, the solo award. And like I say, winning a solo award in Spain when you've got players like Lewandowski, Benzema, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Valverde, you got all these players in the league. You got the ones at Atletico as well. To win an individual honour, that is very, very impressive. So, and he's got a 35 million euro release clause. That's like 30 million quid. The City might just be thinking, you know what, risk reward ratio here looks in favour. So yeah, we'll have to see if City actually pulled the trigger on that one. But I do think he'll probably end up leaving because it looks too good. It looks too good to be at Celta Vigo. And if you look at the league table, Celta Vigo right now are 15th. So yeah, I mean it's not really it's not really a situation where he's not going to be playing European football. He could sign for a team at least in the Europa League, and if City want him, Champions League football. Will he be loaned back somewhere? Who knows? Maybe he'll come in and we will loan him out. But I think that he'll probably end up leaving Celta Vigo this summer, especially because he's got a 35 million euro release clause, so you might as well. Big up Alex with a 5 months. There's any chance we can get an under-20s World Cup Peroni watch-along? Maybe when they play a decent team. Yeah, I mean, I'm game for that, bro. I need to find out what it is, though, because I've not really looked at it. FIFA under-21s World Cup. Oh, it's actually, like, it's on at the moment. Yeah, we'll have a look when Argentina are playing. And see Peroni watching it. See
what he's like.
Yeah,
I've only seen him once.
Yeah, I'm game for that. I'm game for that. Big up for the member chat, bro. Okay, a little bit more information now on an outgoing player that most people have probably forgotten about. But do you remember this man, Zach Steffen? Well, this man, Scott Wilson at the Northern Echo, of course, been covering the teams up in the Northeast, says Pep Guardiola would ideally like to recruit a young third-choice goalkeeper as a long-term project rather than turn back to Zach Steffen as his number 3. As a result, Manchester City will listen to offers for Steffen and are set to demand around £10 million. Yeah, I mean, I completely understand this. There's, with all the best respect in the world and no hate there, there's absolutely no way Zach Steffen can come back to this football club. He's not good enough.
There was never a chance he was coming back.
No, so we can't do that. We got to let him go. And I'd be surprised if you get 10 million quid. Would you be surprised? I don't think you get 10 million quid for him.
I think it's 10 mil for Steffen. Because he continues to have shockers for where he goes. I think he can't keep his name out the limelight at places, and that's the issue because it's never good things. It's never all Steffen's had a worldie. It's always all Steffen's had a shocker. So I don't think he gets 10 mil.
No. Chat, how much do you reckon you're going to get for him? I don't think you'll get 10 mil. I reckon you'll probably get like 5.
I reckon 5 must probably fair, something like that.
But if you think about it, we got Ortega on a free transfer. So if you get 5 million for him, you've done very good business then. And then you just need to get someone as a third choice goalkeeper. Which I agree, go and get a young choice. I think that's how it should be. Obviously, it sounds like maybe Scott Carson. Maybe he's done.
Maybe his time's up now.
Yeah.
The thing is, whether that's time up as a player, I think if there was an option there, City would put him on the backroom staff straight away.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where, because obviously they've got Richard Wright at the moment as the goalkeeping coach, or maybe just it goes in as a sort of generic coach. I'm not sure, but apparently Scott Carson's very much liked around the dressing room.
That's what I mean. He's very important in the dressing room for City, so that's why we keep him around all the time. But I don't know. To be fair, I think last year, because he only had a year extension, didn't he? I think last year towards the end of it, we was like, "Oh, what's going to happen with Carson?" And he just signed a new contract. So I think I don't think City are sweating on a Carson contract anyway, so I think it'll be a late one. You see it. Yeah. Wait, is his contract finished on 30th of June this year?
His contract's not finished. Oh, what, you want a loan or our contract? Steffen?
No,
I don't know.
Carson.
Oh, Carson, sorry. Yeah, I imagine he's out of contract. Yeah, they'll just be giving him 1 year extensions in it every year. So yeah, he'll contract be up in June, July. So yeah, he'll be out. A player that a couple of people have mentioned in the chat is this guy, Zubimendi, plays for Real Sociedad as a DM. There have been a couple of rumours linking with City to him, but I've not seen anything from like a valid source personally. So we'll have to see. But yeah, DM, 24 years old, Spanish international. Obviously plays with David Silva, doesn't he? He's played a lot of football this year, played European football, Europa League. He's played 33 times in La Liga and starts every single game for Real Sociedad. So there are in a couple rumours, but I ain't really seen too much on like legit sources. So again,
I ain't seen nothing, no rumours. I don't think I've ever seen him play.
I ain't seen any proper rumours from that one. So
The only thing I've ever seen from Zubimendi is when people put him in the chat. People put him in the chat before.
Yeah. Other than that, there ain't really much out. Yeah, Kimmich, man, we spoke about that before, and I've done a video yesterday on Kimmich. We'll have to see on that one early days. So Zubimendi has a €60 million release clause. I just don't know if I see City doing that. I don't know if I see City paying 60 million for him for a backup. I'm not sure. Maybe they will. I mean, they paid 40 million for Phillips, so maybe they'll pay 55 million for Zubimendi. Who knows? But we'll see. So he's speaking about Caicedo. Don't see City going for Caicedo. I think he's destined for like a Liverpool or an Arsenal, or maybe a United.
He looks very good though, Caicedo.
Yeah, he looks like a top player.
Good. He's very good. It's just that I don't see City going for it.
Yeah. No, nor do I. The only other thing really is the Gundogan situation. Of course, Ilkay Gundogan. We all know about the situation. He's out of contract at the end of the year. However, there are some positive situations developing now with Ilkay Gundogan, and this is coming from a very, very good source. Martin Blackburn has said this: Manchester City's contract proposal to Ilkay Gundogan is structured differently to the Barcelona's two-year offer, but he's closer to now what he was looking for. There is now optimism that a compromise can be reached, which will see Gundogan extend his 7-year stay. Now, this is coming from a top source regarding Manchester City news, Martin Blackburn. So this kind of, we've spoke about this quite a lot on the chat on the stream, but this kind of sounds to me like maybe City are offering him a 1 year plus 1 year, because it sounds like Barcelona's offer is just a straight up 2-year contract. Martin's saying ours is structured differently. So I wonder if City have offered him a 1 year plus you get a guaranteed extra year, maybe if he plays a certain amount of games or a certain amount of
that's
minutes.
what we did with Fernandinho, wasn't it?
So it sounds like that might be what's happening.
It's extended, yeah. We spoke about doing that as an option. I think that's a perfect thing to do.
Yeah.
I also think if Gundogan was leaving, I think they'd have been a bit more about something on Saturday, on Sunday even. I think they would have done a little bit more of a thing there because it would have been the last home game.
Yeah. No, I agree. And in fact, if you look at just to talk about that, he says this. He said the feeling is Pep Guardiola would have thrown Ilkay Gundogan for a few minutes at the end of Sunday's 1-0 win versus Chelsea to say his goodbyes if he had thought he was going to be Manchester City's farewell. So
even if he didn't come on and play, like I just feel like they would have done something.
Yeah,
they did a bit more of something there. Like look at Laporte.
Yeah, crying.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think there would have been something like there's been a bit more of a plot on the Gundo thing, whereas I don't think. I think it's positive news for Gundo. I think he'll end up staying.
Yeah, no.
Obviously, there's been a lot of rumors over the past 2 days linking him with Arsenal. Apparently, Arteta wanted to go in for him.
I don't think he'd go there. I think if he wanted to leave, he'd go Barcelona. Yeah. I don't think he'd go Arsenal, to be honest with you. James as well says reported we're asked not to ask about Gundogan's future. Yeah, so apparently Manchester City briefed all the media to say no one is to ask any player about their future or anything, because today is about celebrating and not about that. So that's why you never got any questions to anyone, Laporte, Gundogan, anyone about leaving, because City told them not to. Which is fair, the celebrations were about celebrating the Premier League, not about speaking about the future. So,
and we've also got 2 finals.
Yeah.
2 finals coming up. We don't want the players speaking about the future.
And if you remember last year, Mane with Liverpool, in the lead up to that final, all it was is like, Mane's leaving, is Mane going to leave, is Mane going to leave? And he was being asked about it. And he obviously knew he was leaving. And he was saying like, I'm going to decide after the Champions League and all that shit, knowing full well that he was leaving. And Liverpool knew full well that he was leaving. But that just kind of like, it maybe unsettled things a little bit. So I think City doing the right thing here to tell the media not to ask them questions, because it does, as you say, we've got 2 finals and you don't want it to disrupt the sort of lead up to that. But there you go, yeah. Huge, absolutely huge. There's a little bit of news about Gvardiol as well. Obviously was on the list before. We spoke about that on Manchester City's list. But crazy 24 hours of transfer speculation. Like, it was literally popping off, man. Everyone was coming out about it. So, a wild situation, man. But there you go. Big transfer update for you guys. Anything else, Bray, on the transfer situation? Anything that I've missed?
I've not seen anything that you've missed. I think it's going to heat up, especially as soon as there's only really 2 weeks of football left. Transfer window's open very soon. I think deals are going to start getting done rapid. I think like Jude Bellingham will probably be one of the first major deals in football kind of thing. I think he'll sign for Real Madrid soon. I think I still see us just signing Kovacic and Maddison. I don't see us getting Mac Allister. I think he ends up at Liverpool. I think Kovacic is a very easy signing to go and get. I just still see it as them two players.
Yeah.
And there's nothing so far to change my mind. Even Martin Blackburn coming out and confirming that we're interested in Kovacic. So
obviously, if we keep at Gundogan, I don't think we'll get Kovacic. I think that would be strange. But if Gundogan leaves, then Kovacic is clearly the one. 30 million quid. Yeah, he's getting signed, mate. City will cream themselves at that deal. You know what I mean? Hearing 30 million quid for Kovacic if Gundogan leaves, that's getting signed. If Gundogan stays, I don't think we'll sign him. I think it'll just be Maddison or maybe a Gabriel Veiga, more attacking player that can maybe take some pressure off Kevin De Bruyne, because obviously Kevin De Bruyne's getting older. He can't play every single game now, every single week. So, no news of a winger. Yeah, nothing on a winger.
Maddison end up at Newcastle. I can actually see that. I can see Maddison going to Newcastle. I think that'd be a good signing for him as well.
Very possible, yeah. And he'd probably get more minutes at Newcastle, so you can understand why he'd want to go there. It depends, does he want that instant sort of chance at winning the Champions League, instant chance at winning the Prem? Maybe he'll come City, but if Newcastle say, come here, spearhead our sort of attacking midfield and be some part of something special and play every single week, then you can sort of understand why he might go there. But Pep Merchant says Maddison ain't going Newcastle, lol. I don't know why you say lol. I think it's a serious chance.
Yeah, bro, Pep Merchant also come out with like, Maddison ain't going City. Maddison ain't going Newcastle. Like, bro, if they get relegated, he's going somewhere.
Yeah. No. We'd love to see McAtee get a shot, but we'll get another loan. Probably, possibly. I think City don't really know what to do with him at the moment. Do they loan him out again to a Premier League club? Do they sell him and cash in, or do they keep him around the first team squad? I think City are sort of weighing that up. I really do.
I think we could see Trafford as that first choice. James Trafford, City.
As a third choice.
Goalkeeper. Yeah.
Nah. Not as a third choice. No, it's too good. It's too good to be third choice.
I think he needs to go somewhere where he's playing regular football. And obviously, he has come out and said already that he's leaving Bolton at the end of the season.
Yeah. So I think he'll get a loan or maybe be sold. I think if City get an offer of around 10 to 15 million quid, they'll probably cash in and put some sort of
sell James Trafford.
Yeah, I think they could. I think they'd sell him. Yeah, I think if they get a bit. I think if they get a bid for 10 to 15 million quid, you get money in the bank. You put a buyback and a sell-on clause in there. You're chilling. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be our number one for a long time, isn't it?
For a long time, yeah.
So City signing these goalkeepers and getting these academy goalkeepers in. It's for one reason and one reason only. It's to make cash, because Edison could be in Manchester City's goalkeeper now for the next 12, 13 years. Goalkeepers are playing till like the 40 now. So, it's just, so I think if City get a bid around the same sort of fee that we got for Bazunu, keep that money coming in the bank, keep it ticking over, keep the FFP off our back, you're chilling.
They're definitely not keeping FFP off our back.
I know, yeah. But then you just put the buyback and sell-on clause in, boom, you're chilling. And I don't think he wants to be a number two. I think once players have that taste of first team football, I think coming and ask him to sit on a bench or be a number two goalkeeper and play 10 games a season, he ain't one.
That's why it's a bit weird with McAtee as well, isn't it? Like he's been smashing it in first team wise.
Yeah.
Does he want to go play first team football or does he want to become a backup for City? Like you can't guarantee how much game time he's going to play. Look at Cole Palmer. We thought he was going to get loads of game time this year, and he's not.
Yeah, exactly. That's a risk in it when you're a young player. You need to be playing football. If you look at Cole Palmer compared to McAtee, one of them's buzzing right now. One of them is not really played that much football. So yeah, it's very, very difficult when you're a young player. It's not easy. I know they get paid a lot of money in that, but it's not easy for him. I promise you that. Right, buzzing. Well, there you go. Big transfer update. Guys, hope you enjoyed that. If you're watching back on the replay, let us know your comments and thoughts in the comments section below. Are you happy with some of these players that that City are being linked with? And who would you sign if you was Tiki and Pep Guardiola? Big up to everyone. We're back later on. Smash the likes, hit subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. See you in a bit. 85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code XTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping.